Hi friends, this is Sarah from Crafting and Relaxing. Welcome, whether you're brand new or you've been with me since the beginning. I'm glad to have you here. Today I wanted to share with you how embellishment making went for me. So I'm showing you the papers that I did the gel printing on and then cut them out. Some had stencils, some were just quick prints. And then I found myself with tons of cutouts. So I borrowed the silhouette and some dies, and I just cut out tons of stuff. Some printed paper. The paper that I used for the gel prints was just basic printer paper. So when I'm going to round my flowers, right now I'm doing cardstock and it works beautifully. This small green one and all these green ones, these are cheap printer paper with acrylic paint on it, and I'm trying to use a plastic pen. If I had the metal tool, the stainless steel, it would slide better on the acrylic paint. And on the cardstock, the pen works beautifully. It's a little harder on the paint. I will link to the video that inspired me below, and you can see how she does it. She makes amazing three-dimensional flowers. And mine are not super puffy because I'm trying to use them on cards. But in general, if I had the right tool and I used thick paper, I love her look. I would love to sit around and make tons and tons of those. And these I kind of vary somewhat. But I'm showing this to you in fairly slow time. This is like 1 1/4 time so that you can see it, and you can see it's kind of maybe a little tedious, but the outcome is so amazing. So if you're going to sit around and watch TV or talk to friends, this would have been a great activity for the Super Bowl, because all I would have needed was like a pen and that little foam pad. The foam pad I'm using, thank you friend, is packaging of some sort. It was in my friend's packaging bin and I saw it and I thought, oh, I'll take that. So it's household items. You'll see at some point in here I use like a little tiny measuring spoon or something. I don't know what it is. I was just looking for items with rounded ends so that I could lay them out. I wanted to show you this video so you could see what I did, because when I made the giveaway video, I didn't really explain how those embellishments came to be. But here I've showed you what I did with the little tiny cupcake or candy holder. The piece I'm gluing onto it now, or about to glue on, is from, it's a die cut, and I used that meadow from Authentique. And you'll notice I have a brand new bottle of art glitter glue. My other one lasted me like a year, you guys. Isn't that crazy? When I first bought that glue, I thought it was so expensive, and now I realize it dries beautifully clear. When I tried the Tombow glue and the little green and white thing, it dried with a shine and it made me crazy. And this glue is made in the US. It's made in Arizona. So I'm all for that. They don't put it on their bottles, but I made my friend ask them. I don't know why they don't advertise more that it's made in the US. Here I'm experimenting a little because I'm using a very fine die and the little cupcake paper. And in the end, I took that glue bottle and I smashed that sucker so flat. And I wish I hadn't put quite so much muscle into it. So then I tried to puff it up a little. The other one, this is after the giveaway was bundled. So these are ones that I'm making later. The other one I think turned out a little cuter than this one, but that's okay. I think they'll all be different. There's no formula. It's not like I had it sitting there and watched. And some of these I cut out with my friend's silhouette. So what you see before me is like 5 different sets of floral dies, or by using the silhouette. It's not one set, it's not a kit. So that makes it a little trickier to figure out which ones fit into which ones, and especially how much you're going to curve the paper and stuff. But I think it's fun and it turns out different. I have some leftover papers. You guys have seen that I keep all my scraps. So some of those florals in there are leftover from last spring and summer cards. I had some pretty papers left, so I used those in my die cuts. I think making these flower petals is a really great way to use up scraps. Also on the table in front of me, you'll see that very pale light blue piece of paper. I didn't end up using it, but That one is from the video where I cut the petals out. You could do that too. You could cut a variety of petals and layer those in. Whatever papers you have started, anything you have, I think would work for this technique. I just really like variety in my cards and in my florals. And this time of year, I just love to bust out a color palette and a variety of things that I wouldn't normally use. You're not going to see nearly as much royal blue from me in the next month, maybe 2, but watch out when 4th of July comes. All bets are off because there's a lot of selection and that paper has stars on it. Some other things I wanted to tell you about are that I need advice from you guys. I need help and feedback. I'm going to go to Oklahoma. I've never been there. I'm going to go there this month. And I thought maybe Kansas. And I want to know, what stores should I visit while I'm in Oklahoma City or near there or Stillwater? I think we'll go to Kansas. I'm not sure where else. Here on the West Coast, we have Tuesday Morning and we have Michael's and Joanne, and those are fine. But I really like to go to the cute little independent art stores or craft stores or paper stores. So if you know of any of those in those areas, please leave it in the comments. Or if you're too shy and you don't want to be found in the comments, you can always message me on Instagram. But I would really love to have ideas. I'll go on Google and try and do some looking, but I thought maybe you guys could tell me. And I know that I've made friends all over the US doing this. Look how cute that is, you guys. So there's foil on that blue, the blue paper with the diamonds. That's just a random paper that I got from my friend. It's not part of the Authentique collection, but I thought I could work it in. And I liked the gold foiling on it because it wasn't really loud and rowdy. I was going to use a blue center, but I decided to go with gold to draw out the foiling on it. And I think it's regular gold, not rose gold. I don't know. I don't have rose gold centers, so that's what I went with. I think it's really fun. This is another tub that I'm digging through, but I'm starting to run out of colors of what I cut. And then I realized I wanted to make a card for someone with purple. So I thought I'd make one more flower. This flower isn't sped up at all. This is real time, so you can see if I look like I'm frustrated with the pen. Just go around and look for objects. Here I resorted to my normal thumbnail. That's usually how I do it, is just the thumbnail technique and bending the paper a little. But if you rub it in a circle, they do curl up so nice if it's good quality cardstock. Look at that. Curled right up. That purple paper, I think, is another random thing that was sitting around too. It's not from a collection. But that's what I'm trying to do here, is I'm just trying to use gorgeous papers all together, not necessarily the same collection. You know, I love to mix in the scrapbook papers with the mixed media and all the different stuff. And I think these flowers lend themselves to that technique really well. I've seen people doing great things with butterflies. Everybody's making rosettes. And if you're making rosettes, that I hope you're having a great time doing it. I've been there and done that. And I think like last year or the year before, I made tons of cards with rosettes. And I like them, and I like to do them a lot of different ways, but I just think the flowers are more fun. If you need help making rosettes and you have any questions or you're not sure what I mean, those are the things that, like, it looks like a fan, and then in the center there's a flower or an embellishment or a button. You can make them with scrapbook paper and a scoreboard. Super easy. If you have them, a lot of people are using crepe paper. You can make them even if you don't have a scoreboard too, because I made them long before I had a scoreboard, I think. Anyway, please, if you have any ideas for my Oklahoma trip, don't hesitate to share them with me, because I'm really excited to go, and I like to travel around and shop while I'm there, and I'm not much of a clothes shopper. I'd much rather shop for craft supplies or art supplies. I will have a carry-on though, so I can't buy the entire universe, and liquids are problematic, but we can buy a lot of scrapbook paper. Okay, so I'm finishing up this flower, trying to figure out the layers. What I was having trouble with was I had too many layers that were the same size. So I was trying to fold the petals differently to make the edges stick out. I liked that printed paper that didn't exactly match just because it popped out a little bit and added a little more interest. Had I been thinking about it, I have some of the Simple Stories Bliss collection with a whole bunch of purple in it sitting around, and I could have done some die cuts in those because I still have the borrowed dies today. I'm totally in love with flower dies, you guys. And when I went on my Tuesday morning spree, I couldn't find any. I think if you watch my video, I didn't find any. I was really bummed. I was prepared to buy several that I had seen in different people's haul videos, some gorgeous spellbinder florals and other things. And I think for this technique, the simplest ones, like that one I just glued on top right there, is kind of goofy looking when it's alone, but those layer up really, really well. You can use the super ornate ones too if you have them, but some of the simplest petals work the best for this technique. And I think that if you wanted, you could do what I did on the other ones, where I used when I did the handmade florals in a different video, I stamped on the papers. So I used solid color paper and stamped on it. You could do that here too. There's no limitation to how you prep the papers or how you get your patterns. One thing that I'm not sure if it shows very well, maybe it shows at the end, I used a lot of pearl paints and glitter paints, so the flowers have a lot of interest and dimension when the light hits them. That is something that I really think turned out good. I was pleasantly surprised at how much I liked it. And here I have purple gems. Aren't you guys proud of me? I don't just have blue ones. I have purple ones too. I think that is super cute. But then I looked at it and the sides were really curled up and I knew I wanted to put it on a card. So I was trying to find something to give it a little more scale and one more layer. And then I found this one that was kind of a weird purpley gold. And before I prepped it, I put glue on that one. So no problem. Just turn that sucker upside down with the glue on it. And then I decided to try and get this to curve up a little bit. I didn't want it super flat. And again, that's super thin paper. It is just, I'm going to check the package. I think it's like 28-pound printer paper or something. Super cheap. I don't even have a printer anymore, so I might as well use the paper. Okay, I kind of liked it a little more with the goldish purple layer underneath it. It just added more to it, and I thought it was more fun. And I'll show you the card. Maybe I'll put a picture on Instagram or something, or make a quick video of it, the card that I made with it. There are the ones I've been working on. They're all different, right? I think that's pretty fun. Thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And don't forget to give me your Oklahoma ideas. Bye-bye.